What is up, guys? My name is Harry Rice, and welcome back to the channel. Holy shit! So, I was just enjoying a peaceful day in one of my Discord servers, link in the description, and this trade broke. We have the Ben Chiarot trade. Some of us thought it was gonna go down on Monday. The trade deadline, some of us thought it was gonna happen before, and the ones who thought it was gonna happen before is right. Ben Chiarot is going to the Florida Panthers. Montreal is retaining 50% of his salary. Of course, you can see the trade on the screen. Ben Chiarot is going to Florida. What you don't see is the 50% retention. Montreal is acquiring Tyler Similanic, a 2023 first round pick, and a 2024 fourth. Montreal runs away, winning this deal, running away, in my opinion. I couldn't be any more happier. There was apparently rumors that guys like Owen Tippett or somehow Spencer Knight could be involved in the deal. As much as I would have loved those guys, I am very, very happy with Smolanic, who's apparently a very similar player to Arturi Lehkonen, a 2023 first and a 2022 fourth, getting getting one pick in a draft this deep apparently, and a first and a apparently very, very good draft class next year. I am perfectly fine with. And the 2023 fourth, by the way, or sorry, the fourth in this year is previously acquired from the Rangers, so it can end up being better than the Panthers pick, or worse. I'm going to assume it probably ends up being worse. Tyler Simic is the big piece in this deal. Ty Simic, Ty Smilanic. I don't know why I'm calling him Simic. Ty Smilanic is a former third round pick in 2020. He was drafted 74th overall this year. He's played 38 games in Quinnipiac University. In college, he has 38 games played, 13 goals, 9 assists, 22 points, with a plus 16 and 34 penalty minutes. Big shout out to Hockey DB for that. He is apparently a very similar player to Arturi Lehkonen. So this makes me wonder, is Arturi Lehkonen potentially on the move in the future? I think, yeah. I do think we end up trading Arturi Lehkonen, especially if we acquire a guy in this deal rather than trying to go for an Owen Tippett or apparently Denichenko, who was also rumored to be potentially part of this deal. And we go for a guy similar to Lehkonen. If we go out of our way to get that guy, I think it's guaranteed we're probably going to be trading Arturi Lehkonen before the trade deadline. Ben Chiarot, who is in the last year of his 3-year signing from the Canadiens. Whatever we got for him was a win. If we got a seventh for him, it was a win because we signed him in free agency. He's coming off what could have been a career year for him, what probably would have been. He's played 54 games this year. Of course, he was scratched last night against the Arizona Coyotes. He has 7 goals, which is 2 off his career high, 11 assists, which is 4 off of his career high, tying his career high, and a total of 18 points, which is 3 off from his career high. He has 18 points and 42 penalty minutes, a minus 18 on a Canadiens team that has been complete garbage this season until Marty St. Louis took over. So yeah, Ben Chiarot, he's a guy that'll hit. He's a guy that'll throw the body. He does take a lot of penalty minutes, but he does seem to be a guy who is doing very good this season. No clue if he'll click well in Florida. I think he might. But I mentioned this. I'm in a VC with one of my mods, Sporty. Big shout out to him if he's watching this. But I mentioned this could be another Craig Rivet trade, and I genuinely think it could. Craig Rivet in 2007 traded for a first-round pick that eventually ended up becoming Max Pacioretty. And we saw how Pacioretty did for the Canadiens, a 30-goal scorer, and then got us our franchise centerman. So I'm not necessarily saying, the first-round pick we're going to get is going to turn into our franchise centerman, but I think it's going to be a Craig Rivet deal, and the player we get from that first-round pick is going to really, really help the Montreal Canadiens. I'm a massive fan of this deal. We're retaining 50% of Ben Chiarot, which I believe, funny enough, that Jeff Gordon had said before he was not willing to do. But, of course, he retains 50%. He gets the first-round pick, gets a pick in this year's draft, which is, I think, something that he really did want to do out of a Ben Chiarot deal. And he gets a prospect who looks like he could potentially make an impact 3-4 years from now. Could be an NHLer. We'll find out. It's very, very tough to read. Smilanic, interestingly enough, is also a center. I haven't read if he's a center and a winger, but he does seem to play at center. That is a very, very interesting. That's very interesting to acquire a forward in Smilanic, who's a center. So it's interesting that the Canadiens trying to bolster up their center depth. We get the first round pick. We get the fourth. I love this deal. Absolutely big fan of it. I've seen people saying that all we're going to get is a second or all we're going to get is a third. And those people are clearly clowns because we get a first, a third, and a fourth technically because Smilanic, like I said, is a former third. Massive, massive win for the Montreal Canadiens. Apparently we're not even done. So guys, if we have another Canadiens trade breaking out in the next coming hours or the next coming day or so, then expect there to be another Canadian centric video on the channel. I am not going live because it's already pretty late. So yeah, expect there to be another Canadiens trade video when that takes place. But as of this one, I'm giving this one a big W for the Montreal Canadiens. Could end up being a W as well for the Panthers if they win the Cup this year and Chiarot ends up helping out, which I could see maybe happening. I could see that maybe taking place, but only time will tell. Only time will tell if this will end up being a big W for the Canadiens. If that first and fourth and Tyler Similanic end up completely busting out of the NHL, and Ben Chiarot somehow resigns with the Panthers and becomes an amazing top four defenseman, career top four guy for Florida. Only time will tell. Right now, though, big W for the Montreal Canadiens. Love this deal for us. Jeff Gordon and Kent Hughes, thank you guys for coming in to the organization. I love you guys.